Paul Gibson, another wide open three.
Pierre Cardin.
Defers to Booker for the long-range jumper.
Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. Chris Paul bringing dinner with the dish. D-Book on the corner with the swish. We the Valley, hating with the dump. Posterizing, now the crowd getting pumped. We the best, I ain't talking about Cali. Who's next? Never winning in the Valley. Can't wait for that championship rally. Send them home, send them back to Cali. Stand up if you're down for the Suns. Put a finger in the air, we number one. Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing.
Welcome, everybody, to the Aussie Suns Fans podcast. We're calling this Offseason episode 13, Fanning the Aussie Fire, because we have a couple of special guests that we'll introduce shortly. But with me at the moment is one of our founders of the podcast, Nate. Welcome aboard, mate. Great to have you back. You missed the last couple, so good to see you.
Thanks, Gav. Hopefully it will be a lot more consistent now. Big moves have all sort of settled down now.
Love it. Perfect. And we'll introduce these two. I wanted to do this a little bit differently so that these guys got their opportunity to come in and shine on the Aussie Suns Fans podcast. So first up, we will introduce, of course, a regular guest of ours, sporting a man bun today and looking great. Well done. Justin, thank you again for joining us.
Appreciate it, boys. I always love being here. And you know what? I appreciate you appreciating the man bun, because anyone who doesn't like it is just jealous of my sweet flip. That's simple, right?
Yeah, makes sense. And it's good that you didn't fall asleep this week. You obviously cost us a pod last week, so I appreciate that you stayed awake for this one.
It's not my fault you guys have to rely on me.
Our second,
I'm going to take the piss out of that bun, though, like randomly through this pod, though.
You're going to piss on my bun?
So says Samurai. Yeah, this is where the difference is going to come in between our pods.
No, I think I mean
take the piss out of.
It's a legit name of a hairstyle, the Samurai. I think you're okay saying it. Yeah, my half Asian side approves. How about that? That's good enough.
That's possible. Now, if we don't cut Justin off, I made a mistake by introducing him first.
It's true, dude.
Otherwise, we'll never get our next guest in from the He's on Fire podcast, Coach Evan B. Thank you, first timer on the Aussie pod. Thank you, mate, for joining us.
Absolutely, popping my cherry with you fellas. That's not weird at all. But I'm really happy to be here. What a really cool Phoenix Suns podcast syndicate that we kind of all got going on, you know, how everybody just kind of collabs with each other. Really cool. So thank you for having me on, man. This is going to be a blast. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this one all week. After Justin let us down last week, we almost had Evan come in and save the day last week, but unfortunately he was already busy. But yeah, guys that are here, like, share, comment, all that sort of stuff. Appreciate you joining us. We've got a number of viewers here already, so that's fantastic. Thank you for jumping in. I reckon, guys, all we need to do is get stuck straight into it. All we're going to do today is cover off, basically, with a cross pod, cover off everything that's been happening over the off-season. And let's start with the main thing, the Bobby Sarver saga. Obviously, we have a lawyer here. We have someone who actually knows what he's talking about in Evan. And then we have Nate, who probably still doesn't even know what happened.
I'm familiar, thank you.
So obviously the findings came down. I went on fanning the flames. We spoke about the findings there. Happy for you guys to touch on that. You're all going to get your 7 minutes of fame here to basically just roll out whatever you want. all the way down from the findings to Sarver coming out and saying that he is ready to sell the team. So let's start off. Evan, you're a first-timer. You can go first.
It's been a long time coming that Bobby's going to be gone. Like when that news broke, I was just getting ready to start kind of a hell day for me, doing some work stuff. And man, that just put me in the greatest of moods. But regardless of all that stuff, everything that's gone on, the one thing that I am a little frustrated with is the minority owners not really coming out and speaking out against it. To me, and it hasn't really been covered that much. And Justin, I'm curious to hear your angle of this. And I'm talking like Larry Fitzgerald, for example, and a couple of the other guys that came out right after last year in December, and they were like, "That's not the Bob I know," kind of like Devin Booker, And then all this stuff comes out and it's silence. And we still haven't heard from Larry Fitzgerald, who is sitting next to Bob. I don't even know in how many games. And everybody is just kind of silent on the issue, for lack of better words. You know what I mean? When it comes to the people that actually have a hand in this sale. To me, when you're quiet about what's been going on in this sort of thing, that's almost worse than speaking out or being for whatever happened, if that makes sense. Really frustrated with Larry Fitzgerald in particular, with the minority owners, and I wish they would step up and at least speak on it one way or another, at least so we know. But what are your guys' thoughts on that? Because I haven't heard any podcasts, any national media really taking this angle on it.
I honestly haven't thought about that. I guess the first thing let's start here. Let's start with the not the Bobby I know thing, right? Because James Jones kind of addressed that during media day the other day, and that's the statement that those guys made back then. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was false, right? Because James Jones,
fair point,
very well might not
fair
be,
point.
might not be the Bob Sarver he knows. Devin Booker might not be the Bob Sarver he knows, but that's obviously what went on within the organization.
And that's not going to happen with your superstar player, obviously.
Right. So, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, those guys have said what they said. What else can they say? I mean, they need to come out and say misogyny in the workplace is bad? I mean, isn't that understood, right? If they're going to come out, what are they going to say beyond what's already been done, what's already been said? And I guess that would kind of be the perspective I would look at from them. If I'm Larry Fitzgerald, what benefit do I get if I go out and I say racism's bad or misogyny is bad? Again, is that going to move the needle anyway for anybody? I guess with you, Evan, perhaps it would, right? Because you're sitting there waiting for him to come out and say something. But if I'm those guys, if I'm advising those guys, I'm like, you know what? You're good. Keep your mouth shut. You still have your minority stake. Something's going to happen with this team one way or the other. And that could be part of it too. They're still co-owners with Robert Sarver.
And
right?
You're still going to make, I mean, even if you own 5% of the team, you're still going to make X amount of hundreds of millions of dollars anyways. So you know what, keep your mouth shut and get paid. Gavin, and what do you guys think?
Well, isn't that the best life advice ever, though? Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Dude, and I said after the investigation, after the report came down, my immediate reaction was, if I'm Robert Sarver right now, I say, all right, well, I'm out. It's been real. You guys got me. And the crazy thing to me, too, is they knew that was coming.
Here, this comment right here, but they felt the need to say something then and not now.
I didn't see it. There it is. Thank you. No, and that's fair. No, I mean, and if you look at it at the end of the day, too, I can very well look at them back then saying, well, we're trying to protect the organization to a degree as well. Right. And at this point, too, is there anything else to protect? I mean, the extent of any protection has been done by Robert Sarver saying he's going to sell the team, right? That's the best case scenario we had coming out of this. And that's the thing that blows my mind, too, is Sarver obviously knew exactly what was coming in that report. They had to see this kind of backlash coming, or they should have seen this kind of backlash coming. He could have avoided that report coming out. There was a report for Dallas. Did you guys ever see it?
About Mark Cuban?
Never got published.
But there's been rumblings in that organization a handful of times, though, right? Remember that story came out on SI 3 years ago, whatever. That's all done.
but it never saw the light of day because what the Mavs ended up doing was they donated $10 million to charity as part of their, of that investigation process. I would imagine Robert Sarver had the opportunity to say, I'll sell the team. Don't let that report come out. And obviously he didn't take that opportunity. So I look at that situation. I sit there and I think, what are the guys around Robert Sarver saying? Like, if I'm his counsel, I'm holding him back, trying to be like, no, let's not let this report come out because it's not going to do you any favors, and it's going to go down the path it did. And I think I might be the one person, and I'll stop dominating the conversation. I'm sorry. That thinks that Adam
Gavin
Silver
can kick you out at any time he wants.
100% got it right. Adam Silver 100% got it right. Because this is what happens because Adam Silver got it right. Adam Silver goes with a longer suspension. It doesn't play out this way because Robert Sarver's fighting it legally. He gives a shorter suspension. Robert Sarver probably doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I think that Silver basically gave him what he could give him without getting caught up in any sort of legal action, knowing that the pressure would come for Sarver to sell. And effectively, it made it easy for Adam Silver, and that's effectively how it rolled out for the NBA. But I agree with everything that what Evan said. The minority owners came out at the start, basically supported the release that came out and said everything was made up and rubbish and all that sort of stuff. But now, effectively silent.
Oh, hold on. I don't think the minority owners, I don't think they said it was rubbish. That's what Jason Rowley said. Minority owners said that's not the Robert. I know that kind of
Your
thing.
favorite person.
Oh, that guy. That guy, talk about somebody that got handed a fucking golden goose laying egg and just shit the bed with it.
He's
in my opinion, just for the record, that's an opinion,
Humbly.
not a fact. I don't need the Suns coming after me for fucking saying shit about him.
Outside of when all this is done, he's got to go, right, Rowley?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm shocked he's not gone.
It's going to be a top to bottom wholesale change, right?
Yeah.
There's no if and like Larry won't be a part of it unless he buys back into it. Like it's a wholesale change from what I've read. Am I mistaken? Does anybody know better?
I don't think it's been said specifically, but I can't imagine being anything other than that. It makes zero sense to sell 35% of the team and leave the rest there. I mean, and for them valuation wise, and I've heard that a lot of and obviously people have come in over the years, but at least the folks that are part of that original group that came in with Sarver, they had planned on being out within a decade or so. They saw the opportunity to turn a profit, and then Sarver wanted to stick in. That's why they've stuck in. So I don't know that I don't know that there's going to be a whole lot of pushback or anything from any other owners not wanting to sell. And also in those types of agreements, you've got an operating agreement that's going to govern that entire organization. Robert Sarver being kind of the spearhead of putting that all together, I'm sure he as managing member, which he still is technically. I mean, the LLC is a separate concept than this governor within the NBA, right? So he's still technically the managing member. I'm presuming that he has the authority in that capacity to basically direct the sale of the organization as a whole. That wouldn't be unusual.
Sure.
Gavin, I'm pushing something through to your screen if you want to push that out, or if not. But there it is. Among Phoenix Suns, Larry Fitzgerald among Phoenix Suns partners who signed statement disputing Sarver allegations coming from 2021.
Because he said that's not the Robert Sarver I know, right?
Right. And then them not coming out after the fact, that's the part that pisses me off.
Yeah.
But I mean, he comes back and says, what? That's still not the Robert Sarver I knew. He would say just like James Jones said, right? I mean, and again, I won't fault you for wanting the guys to say something. I'm just saying I can certainly see why they're not. And legally, they might not want to either. Again, that could be the biggest factor. Legally, they might not want to.
There's potentially a whole heap there that Sarver's already contacted them all and said, "Hey, I'm selling the team as a whole, and whoever I sell it to I could speak to them about you getting your shares back, maintaining the ownership that you have, but you shut up right now. You don't say anything."
Yep.
Not to make light of what is obviously a somewhat serious goings on, but that's what we do. We make light of shit. Anyone else thought about how many times Bobby Sarver sat back and just gone, "Fuck, thank God they didn't find that other shit."
Dude, you know, I actually said
Absolutely.
this. I said this in a.
He's sitting there. He's got no one's talking about goats anymore, are they?
I said this in a group, in one of my group chats, and I was like, I would love to see the text messages between Sarver and Rowley.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
you know, those things are just,
Gold. It's gold.
but they probably also are smart enough to not leave that shit out there. That's why you didn't find a smoking gun with Robert Sarver, right? You still didn't find a smoking gun.
Or a smoking goat.
Oh, we found a smoking goat.
I got to admit, the funniest part for all of this was when all the James Dolan memes started up directly after Bobby got his 1 year suspension and the team was getting sold. And then all the Knicks fans are out there. Oh shit! Is that all it takes?
All right. Let's. Any last comments on the Bobby Sarver saga? I know later on in our pod, one of our thumbs up, thumbs down questions will address something a little bit further and dig a little bit further, I suppose. But last comment?
Over $3 billion in sale price.
Easy.
How about that?
Easy.
From $400 million in 2004, 5, 6, whenever that
2004.
was, and now over
$3
billion.
Yeah, you talk about those other partners that are part of the ownership group. They're not going to be too upset.
No, they're going to make their money. They're going to make out clean. They're going to save face like none of this ever happened. And Larry Fitzgerald will still be the shining light in Arizona, right?
Yeah, I think, there's clearly going to be an impact on Larry Fitzgerald for not saying anything here. Surely. Nothing's come out. Then that's been my problem, is that nothing has come out. They're not touching that nobody wants to rain on the golden boy, right? Mm. Like, imagine somebody raining on Luka in Dallas. No, we're not going to get into that right now. I mean, we will. We're more than happy to rain on Luka in Dallas. Did Darth just put up $4.3 billion? Oh my goodness! Let the bidding war begin. Is that your first bid, Darth?
Is that his opening bid?
Is that how many donations are coming in on the Suns Jam Session podcast at the moment?
I've got like $1,200 of my Christmas savings I can throw in for you, Darth.
Kids don't.
All right. Overrated. Let's move on to our next topic: the Suns off-season. So I asked this in our podcast last week. But I really wanted to bring it up with you guys as well. I've got 4 sort of questions we'll go into, but after this one. But the first one is,
so 5 total.
5 total. early stages. Was our off season a failure? Evan.
I feel like it's still unwritten.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if this goes into the trading deadline and there's some DeAndre Ayton for Kevin Durant and LeBron James that come to Phoenix, I feel like it's unwritten and it's still incomplete even going into the season. I've been putting off doing any type of preview show or any off-season grades because it still feels incomplete. So was it a failure? I don't know yet. Is it looking that way? Yep.
Well, let's make it a little more cut and dry then. As of right now, is it a failure?
Absolutely. No. Absolutely.
Because you still can't.
You message feed
you can say, okay, so you can say as of now, is it a failure? You can't really answer that still because you still don't know what the end result's going to be.
Right.
So no matter how you ask the question, I think the answer.
Jay Crowder may just change his tampon.
I can answer it. I can ask the question in a different way. If we cut it off right now and say this is how we're moving forward, is it a failure?
Still don't know.
In a hypothetical world, we do know.
Hold on. Suns win the title this year. You're going to say this offseason was a failure?
Well, when you Monday morning quarterback it.
I'm just that's
yeah,
my question.
I know. You're big. Come on, man.
That's my question. Yes or no?
This is an opinion thing, not a fact thing.
Okay. Is your opinion yes or no? It's a failure if they win the championship.
Well, that's not the question.
That's my question. That's all I'm saying. I'm asking you a question.
No, it's not a failure if they win the championship.
Okay,
Clearly.
perfect. So you can't answer the question now, even if you say you cut it off now.
You can't answer the question now.
So how about
I've told
this?
you before about coming on the Aussie Sounds Fans podcast and trying to be a fucking lawyer.
Ask it this way. If the world ends today, was it a failure? Then you can answer it. Okay?
The world ends today. My whole life was a fucking failure. Damn.
Amen. As was the Suns off season then.
Here's my thing. It's twofold. One, I do like that we re-signed DeAndre Ayton. He's staying, and we'll get into his shenanigans on Mini Day if you want. But the fact is that he is a talented 7-foot dude with shoes on, of course, 7 feet with shoes. And he can really unlock a lot of things for us. I don't think anybody can debate that. We can talk about his aggressiveness, lack of dunks, whatever. We can talk about that, right? The problem that we all have is Chris Paul and Devin Booker are still our main ball handlers, right? Everybody has question marks about campaign, and we did nothing to upgrade a third ball handler. Shot creator, shot maker, a Jordan Clarkson. I wasn't huge on Jordan Clarkson, but I talked myself into him. But we did not make that move, and that was something we have desperately needed. It was out in front for everybody to see against the Bucks in the finals, and it was clearly that way when Book was out against New Orleans, and then we all know what happens against Dallas. That is why it's a failure to me. It's like James Jones knowing we need size going into the 2021 NBA Finals or that whole playoff run. Everybody knows it, but sure, let's keep Dario as our backup 5 and not improve inside at all. It's like that same thing. And then all of a sudden we get JaVale and Biz, and it's like, oh, look how good this works out. Go figure. So not improving a glaring need is an absolute failure. But then again, we did get DeAndre Ayton. We kept the core there. I like Cam Johnson. I'm very intrigued with Ish Wainwright and Josh Okogie and what they can do. I'm very intrigued with that. I think Ish Wainwright, man, I wish I had some like fire thing going off right now. I think Ish Wainwright could have a better career than Jay Crowder when it's all said and done.
Woo!
I tell you 3 people that definitely say the Suns offseason wasn't a failure. Josh Okogie, Jock Landell, and Damian Lee. They're pretty fucking happy with how it turned out.
True. Absolutely.
One thing you mentioned, Dario. Didn't that Buck series turn when he went down?
Yeah, it did.
We won that game. We won the next game.
Yeah, we did win the second game.
Yeah, and he went down in game 1. We won that game. We won game 2, and then we lost 4 in a row.
And
right?
it looked like we didn't even need him though after game 2, right? Okay. But
well, I mean, did it? Because
absolutely after game 2. After game 2, I think that's
because we lost badly.
No, that was game 3. We won the first 2 games going up 2-0. It looked like we didn't even miss them at all.
I'm fully aware because I was going to game 4 if it was a closeout, which it was very much not.
Ugh.
So my question on the back of your comments there, Evan, is okay, you see it as a failure, but was a lot of the focus on the KD thing, and that took away from extra opportunities, I suppose?
Okay, so reports came out, and this is, in my opinion, what we have to play it after, is James Jones said, we talked to them, they said no, we moved on, we didn't talk to them again, right? And that happened the first day. And we kind of have to go on that level, and if that's what really happened, then you almost can't ask that question because they clearly were looking at other things, right?
Yeah.
But I think it clouded all of our minds collectively, and it maybe we were wanting bigger things than we could really get, and we weren't focused on realistic opportunities. And honestly, maybe they're just all about internal development, because this is the first time since the bubble that everybody gets a legitimate off season. What does that look like for the team? What does a legitimate 4-month off season look like for Cam, Mikal, DA, Booker?
Actual player progression,
actual player progression, and not just worn the hell out and tired. Like, man, Booker could get 28 to 30 points per game, man. He's going to, by the end of the year, Booker's going to be number 3 in the franchise scoring mark. Number 3 all time. So what does that do for everybody? And they get to sit and stew on what happened for 4 months, whether they had COVID or not. I think that's going to help them more than anything.
Whether they had COVID or not?
Whether they had COVID during Game 7, if they want to use that excuse, or if that's actually what happened, they had 4 months to stew in it.
I didn't realize there were questions about whether that was the case, but
yeah, it's. I think we'll touch on that more when we get into media day and everything else. So, we mentioned Jay Crowder a couple of times in there. What happens? What happens with Jay Crowder from here? Like, obviously, we all know he wants out. He's no longer. Well, he's not showing up to training camp. What happens from here? What is it that we're going to bring back in? What are we looking to bring back in off the back of Jay Crowder? And are we in a position where we will say, well, we're just going to hold on to you until we get something we want?
Yeah, look, James Jones doesn't just do shit for the sake of doing shit. So to my point before about the offseason being a failure or not, doesn't it all depend on the attitude Jay Crowder takes if he steps onto the court to play game one? If he steps on and he switches out of the tantrum mode and just says, you know what, I'm still getting paid my $10 million this season. It's guaranteed money. I'm going to be a businessman. I'm going to turn up and play the fucking game. I mean, if he does that, then it's still a win. I think his attitude is all important when it comes to game one, whether or not he shows up to training camp or not.
Yeah, no, they're going to move him. I think they're going to move him. What they're going to move him for, I don't know. But
what would you like him to move him for?
What would I like to move him for?
Jay Crowder for Kelly Oubre. Who says no?
SGA. I heard.
I say fucking no. If any, like, I don't want to put Suns Twitter offside, but if any fucking more people put Kelly Oubre for Jay Crowder on fucking Twitter, I'm going to lose my shit.
Have people done that? I haven't seen that at all.
I've seen it 3 times already.
Oh,
I got really triggered. I'm pretty sure Evan was joking, but okay.
I had no idea. I was still joking, but
yeah, I got you.
I only say that because James Jones now has a history of wanting to bring back players, Torrey Craig, Frank Kaminsky, etc.
What's Frank up to? Where's he?
Atlanta.
Yeah, come on, man.
Oh, that's right. He's
gonna kill it with Kevin Herter and company over there.
Now, I do see this one, and we brought this up from Voider. Don't suggest Jay leaving could someday lead to SGA. Twitter will fucking murder you. We've actually brought this up on our pod the last couple of weeks. That's something that I'd love to see is SGA, and everybody's brought it up. We've heard about it, but realistically, to get an SGA, all we're trading Jay for is a first rounder, yeah, because we just want to add value to what package we can send out.
Somebody going to give you a first rounder for Jay?
Maybe not now after he's been a piece of shit and destroyed us.
No, but I mean, even before. Mm-hmm. No.
Surely.
If somebody gives up a first rounder, somebody that has a lot of picks, by all means.
Yeah,
take that
Why
in a
the
heartbeat.
fuck would the Thunder give up SGA though?
They're taking it.
I don't think we need a wing. I think we need another ball handler.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, the whole wing debate, isn't it? It's we did bring a couple of low contracts in for the wing, clearly. But the ball handling is a standout issue. It was last season.
I'll say this, though. I feel like, are y'all giving up on Campaign? Y'all done with him?
Not done.
I gave up on him at the start of last year. So
yeah, I was going to say that process is well over. Yeah,
I very much question him as a player right now. Like, I mean, that was a very, very poor season that he put together after the second game of the season when he's doing in the Lakers game. It was all downhill from there.
So he
Voider,
he went down with injury. He went down with injury twice last year, right?
That's a good one.
That's brilliant.
That is magnificent.
Just in time.
Go, Justin.
But and maybe memory serves me wrong. Campaign went down with injury last year, came back, was a little lackluster, started building things back up again, got hurt again, went out, right? Am I remembering that correctly? Wasn't he? Did he miss 2 stints of play last year because of injury?
You're probably right, but I honestly cannot remember.
Yeah, okay. And assuming I'm right, And if I'm not, then this is a completely pointless conversation. And this maybe goes back to we have an actual off season. You know, we get time to rest up. We get time to heal up. Get a full season out of him. Get full health out of him. Maybe we see that campaign we saw during the finals run year, right? Because that was a completely different play. That's a guy that looked like a guy who was not only a serviceable backup, but was making strides to
Replacement starter.
Be the
right?
heir of Chris Paul, right? People,
well,
his
performance in that Lakers series when Chris Paul had COVID was phenomenal.
Yeah, and didn't what was it the Denver series he got hurt in during the finals run year too? And I remember thinking that was going to be dramatically bad. Also, might be making it up. You guys are all looking like that didn't happen. Maybe it didn't.
I'm not sure if he missed games in the playoffs.
Let me look. I'll look. Somebody
Maybe
else talk because I've been talking a lot. I'll look.
We preface the show with that happening.
So we've got trade Jay to take an unwanted contract to New York and a first, which they trade to get rid of the contract. I have no idea what Thrace is. Thrace the first with multiple other firsts for SBA. Yeah, trade. Twitter hates you. I do agree. Look, to be honest,
Twitter hates you.
Cam Reddish is in New York, isn't he?
And he just got there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one I actually like, and I brought it up last week. A first and Cam Reddish to New York. They could take Jay. I think Cam Reddish should be a nice little fit.
If I may,
I want to know.
Would you guys hate it if we sent Jay Crowder and throw in whoever the hell else you want to at that point for like Derrick Rose?
Is it?
I mean, at least
similar,
he could stop killing the Suns somehow.
Is it similar to bringing in a Kemba Walker on a veteran?
I've never hated the idea of bringing him in. I've never hated that. But didn't he got bought out, right? Or is going to, and he's going to
be bought out.
So don't we have our mid-level exception? I think after getting bought out, that would be a more appropriate type of use for the MLE, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, I think we have it. Look, those types of guys, I certainly wouldn't have a problem taking like a flyer on, right? I mean,
what's his reputation like though?
Why not?
Who's
like
Kemba or
no Derrick Rose? Fuck Kemba, because he kind of upsets shit everywhere he goes. Not to the level that like Kyrie upset shit, but he did in Houston.
Does he?
He did in New York. He wanted to be the man, and then he wasn't the man.
He's kind of over that, right? Like, I mean, after he scored like the 50 points when he was in Minnesota and the tears were flowing, everybody was kind of rooting for him. He goes to New York, and he's the one that's finishing games now with Julius Randle and company the year that they went to the playoffs. And he just has the injury history. That's the thing. But I mean, you can say that about anybody. Look at Saquon Barkley in the NFL. I don't know if you guys are NFL guys, but Saquon Barkley hasn't been able to play for 3 goddamn years. And then all of a sudden this year, he's number 2 running back. So like, who with injuries, who the hell knows?
Well, look, I wouldn't be against Derrick Rose because he could still play the game. I mean, he proved that in New York last year. And if he's coming off the bench, and well, let's be honest, if we can carry Chris Paul, Derrick Rose through the season, with Cameron Payne stepping in and filling those other minutes during the regular season, of course, we can get those through healthy into the playoffs. It's a pretty damn good 1-2 punch coming off, like from a ball control perspective. Chris Paul starting and Derrick Rose coming off the bench.
I do wonder if there would ever be a way we could get TJ McConnell from Indiana.
I love TJ McConnell.
I know, because you're an Arizona guy, but you know what? We're not talking about the wild rats right now.
I also love him as an NBA player, but that doesn't hurt.
I think a guy like TJ McConnell would be awesome. He's making about $2 million less than Jay Crowder. He was on the block last year after being signed to a 4-year extension. He's got 3 years left. Something like that is intriguing.
That's not what Indiana are looking for in their lineup now, is it? Let's be honest.
But it's an expiring contract for them.
Yeah.
But I guess we don't know what they want. They're trying to trade Miles Turner now and all that stuff.
What was the last Bleacher Report post? Was they're willing to get rid of Turner and Buddy Hield to LA for picks? I just get him.
Yeah, there you go.
What are they
that
left
shows
with?
They're in rebuild. Yeah, they're they're left with Tyrese Halliburton and Chris Duarte.
And Voida going all Australian here.
Good man. Boyd's not here to do it. Somebody had to.
Bring him back.
And we're now ticking the box for
and Ty Jerome is now going to
in.
be made available. How about that? How about we bring Ty Jerome back?
Hey, why not? I like Ty Jerome.
How about we not rebuild like the
biggest failure in
won
our
19
system.
games? How about we do that?
Let's bring Ty Jerome, Kelly Oubre.
Where's Dragan Bender at these days?
Is Ricky Rubio available? Let's bring him back too.
It's frustrating because a guy like who was it? A guy like Monty Morris was available for trade last year. You know, he's on the Wizards now. Like Monty
I
Morris,
really like Monty Morris.
Somebody like that would have been awesome. I would have traded Campaign and Jay Crowder for Monte Morris, but you know, here we are.
Coda Kid, we can't do trades with Indiana for a year, only if it's DeAndre Ayton.
I completely forgot about that. Thanks for screwing it up, Pacers.
So no, but only if it involves DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, it's just DA.
We could still trade anyone else. We just can't trade DA.
Who can we get from the Pelicans to get Jay Crowder on the Pelicans?
Brandon Ingram. It'll happen by the halfway mark of next year. We'll trade Jay now for a first round pick. I've decided.
Larry Nance Jr. Larry Nance Jr. Let's go straight up.
All I hear are birds.
Yeah.
No one's saying no, though.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. It's a bit of a thinker. And still no comment. What else is on the agenda there, Gav? We're talking absolute shit here.
I love it though. Next up, Cameron Johnson doesn't get extended.
Don't we ask this question every week? Well, I haven't been asking it, but I've been listening.
I haven't
literally asked the question.
I haven't asked these two, so shut up. Cameron Johnson doesn't get extended.
I think he will. I think they're going to, just like Mikhail got extended, I don't see why they wait with him. There's no reason to wait like they did with DA. They're not going to save money by waiting. They're only risking having to pay more. And ideally, they'd have to pay more, right? So pay him what you think he's worth now. Get him locked up, and let's roll. Let's get this fucking season started. Jesus Christ! Sorry, I'm ornery.
They've got some Aussies to beat.
Yeah, dude, I'm going Adelaide 36ers. I ain't missing that.
Hey, we'll talk about that later. I
hear they have a Filipino on their team. I'm stoked.
That's just the fluffer.
Evan, surely, Jesus Christ. Evan, surely he gets a contract similar to Mikal.
They better do it now.
Literally give them the same one. They're twins, right? Give them the same.
They better do it now before he pops off for 16 to 18 points per game on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. They better do it now.
Yes, sir.
I think by moving him into the starting lineup, that possibility is extremely high.
What?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's it. Yeah.
How much do you think he can average per game? He was averaging 16.8 as a starter last year with multiple like Booker and Chris Paul and stuff were out, right? Yeah. What can he average? I mean, he can easily get 2 to 3, maybe even 4 3-pointers a game, right? I mean, get to the free throw line once or twice. Yeah. What can he legitimately average next year?
Me personally, I think he can average between 14 and 16, I think is where he'll sit. If he can get up around the 6 to 7 rebounds a game, I think that's more important at times because, let's not talk about our rebounding woes just yet, but I think that's really important because even with Jay in the starting lineup last year, 3 to 4 rebounds a game from your power forward, that's a concern. So we need to get a power forward in there. And Cam's got hops. He could surely get sort of up around that 6 to 7 rebounds per game.
Nate, what do you think?
No comment. I'm just going to join my beat. Let Justin fight the urge to talk.
It hurts.
All right, next subject before Justin gets to talking.
All right, let's talk. Let's talk about
Justin. How many points do you think Cam Johnson can get per game next year?
18.
That's where I'm sitting at. I want to say 16 on the low side, but something tells me 18.
Dude, I want Cam the Cam Johnson we saw against the Knicks every game, but like half of it because I think he scored 34 that game. So but that's the guy. I mean, that's the guy. I think. Give me that assertive, angry because he took a knee from Julius Randle early in the game. Cam Johnson that just puts his head down, is aggressive. I love that kid. I love Cam Johnson. Love.
So are you talking about these coming as additional points or by increased effectiveness, or is he taking them from somebody else?
He's going to get minutes. He's
taking them from Chris Paul.
Minutes.
We don't need Chris Paul shooting shit.
All right.
But I mean, it's okay. So last year he averaged 26 minutes. He should be getting 32, 34, 35 minutes this year, right? Playing as a starter, he averaged 12.5 last year. I'm leaning towards the 18, just like Justin is. I think an extra 5.5 points over 8-9 minutes. I think that's absolutely doable for him.
Hey, MIP.
Oh, so he'd certainly be in the mix.
Suns never win those awards. Come on, man.
Well, he was in the running for the sixth man. He finished second.
Fair point. Maybe.
Tyler Hero.
Probably not, but maybe.
Yeah.
There's going to be like some random dude like Poku comes up and averages 20 or something.
Right. Some guy that averaged like 2 points a game last year or some shit too.
Yeah. Or Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson will be the flashy pick for that.
That's.
All right,
Gav,
let's talk.
Before you move on, Gav,
yes,
you got to address some of the questions in the chat here. The same questions popped up about 5 times. Who's recording in an Avery?
That's me.
So for everyone at home, Gav records. Records outside.
I'm outside so that my kids don't take over the recording. But not only that, the sun is out for the first time in about 6 months in Melbourne, and it's beautiful out here. I've got a beautiful view. So if you don't like the birds, stiff shit. It's Australia. That's what we do.
That's it.
You say stiff shit?
Yeah, stiff shit.
Yeah.
Stiff? Like
stiff. Like
sounds,
stiff.
Like it's old and hard shit?
Yeah, like pain. That sounds painful. Fair enough.
Yeah,
while we are addressing stuff in the feed too, there was a lot of love for my absence or for me being back earlier on, which I want to say thank you for. Even the comment about me stealing someone's wife. I'm really not sure that what that was getting at, but thank you.
Voider, I'm not sure any of those little emojis are Australian birdies. But
I'm pretty sure that's like a bald eagle.
There's totally bald eagles in Australia.
The swan maybe. It's,
Perfect.
Let's talk about our wins and our outs. So obviously we've brought in Damian Lee. Who else did we bring in?
Okogie.
Damian Lee, Okogie.
Frank Jackson.
Dwayne Washington Jr.
Jacques Landell.
Dwayne. Jacques. I think I've got something here. Let's have a look. Here we go.
Woohoo.
Josh Okogie, Dwayne Washington Jr., JaVale McGee, Aaron Holiday, Alfred Payton, Gonski.
I like how you still have the spell correct on there with JaVale's name. That was cute.
Yeah, that's what I do.
It gives me so much joy to see Peyton's name on that list. It really does.
What do we think about our wins, guys? How much impact are any of those wins really going to have on this squad next season? Let's go with Evan. You can kick it off.
I'm more curious to hear you guys about Jacques Landell and if he's a guy that can come in and actually give us minutes. Can he come in and give 8 to 12 spot minutes? Is he going to be a player where when the lineup doesn't work and Biz sits, Jock comes in? Because according to the PHNX podcast and Gerald Bourget, people are kind of looking at Jock as the backup 5 and not Biz. That was reported just a couple days ago. So talk about Jock. Where is he from? What's his average and all that? You guys know all this stuff, don't you?
Well, I've actually watched him play in the NBL. That's why, because I watched him slaughter my Brisbane Bullets. Yeah, he played on the Australian team against the US when they came out and did that exhibition game at Marble Stadium. and he
And
was
for
playing.
Shorten
He was
too. Yeah,
he was playing
sensational.
overseas in Europe, and then came back to play on that squad, and then got the contract in the NBL straight after. And within 2 years, he's got an NBA contract. So with the Spurs, I love him.
He played some really, really good minutes with the Spurs as well. And look, I've described him earlier on, and we had discussions with other guys who've sent me messages and stuff like that. He's the Aussie Frank Kaminsky. So he can rebound the ball. He hustles. He can spread the floor. He can score at the rim. He's got the ability to really add a lot of value to the Suns lineup. And as a backup five, the first off the bench to replace Biz, maybe not yet. I think we might see a lot over the preseason that'll decide how many minutes Jock actually gets in this lineup. I know the book came out and said he's really enjoyed playing with him so far in the scrimmages. So it'll be interesting.
Nate, you were saying that he was a killer down in the NBL. Was he?
Mhm.
I mean, was he taking dudes off the dribble? Was he pick and pop? Was he just hitting open shots? What was he doing that was fascinating about his game to you?
He didn't do the same thing every time. He really did have a big arsenal where he could tear us apart, and he had great teammates. He was on the best team in the league. Okay, so he would pull up for three, no problem at all. He would post up and just dominate. He was huge dunking. Suck my jock.
Voider is on fire in the chat today.
I'm really excited to see what his drop
He's a fun player. He's not
I feel like
one-dimensional,
Voider's
and he
drunk.
has impact.
Void, are you drunk? Seem drunk.
Well, it is an
Love
Aussie
it.
pod. I mean, me and Gav are working on it. So
Yeah, that's right.
I'm on my way. This is my third tonight. So cheers.
Hey, did you guys see the video that Bally Sports Arizona put up where they had all the guys describe their game in one word?
No, I haven't seen
No,
Guess what Jock's word was?
I'm intrigued.
Oh, I need
Holiday.
guesses first.
it. Porn star. I don't know.
What did you say? Porn star?
Porn star. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know.
I mean, that's not a bad guess, actually.
Efficient.
We're getting colder.
Shit.
You're getting warmer. His word was terrible.
Oh,
Terrible.
really?
It's fucking great. They closed with that too. It's fantastic. You should watch it. You should watch it because DeAndre Ayton's answer made it move. I'll say that.
all right.
Ooh.
Ooh. Well,
Just
you
a
can't
little
leave
bit.
us hanging now.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yes, I can. I do
Bally
what I
Sports.
want.
Got it.
I'm not going to be rallying the Bally and Valley or whatever they said anymore. So I would really appreciate it if you told us exactly what he said, Justin.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, no, because you have to watch him say it because the way he
Cunty?
delivers it is important.
Cunty.
It's important.
It's important.
Right.
Very
Polished. DeAndre Ayton said polished, didn't
No,
he?
he said, well, I'll tell you what he said. If you
I'm
promise
sure
me
we'll
you'll
talk
still
about
watch it so you can see the delivery.
Definitely still watch
Okay.
it. Definitely.
Revengeful.
Ooh.
Ooh.
See, I thought he
So-
would be like,
Is that a
dominate,
word?
say something kind of
Transition.
cheesy.
Ooh.
Is revengeful a word? Yeah, no, I guess it's.
Oh.
All right. Well, I came out on Twitter about a month ago and I said,
Congrats.
like, I want
Congratulations.
I want,
Yeah.
thanks, guys.
We all went there. We all did it.
And,
20th
I
century and
said I wanted a revenge season from the Suns, and everyone was like, "That's what last year was supposed to be." And I was like, "Fuck, you're right."
Yeah, it kind of was, but
Can't
yeah.
every season be a revenge season?
If you never
Yeah,
win the
that's right.
championship, yeah, it can.
So then here we are.
I
I would
support
say,
your
I would say this is far more of a revenge season than last season, based on the outcomes of the two prior seasons. If that makes sense.
Was it
This
Third
season,
that?
this season surely is more. This season surely is more of a.
A second there, I was like, "What?" Oh, back to that guy. Yeah.
Back to that.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that would happen on the Aussie Suns fans podcast?
Oh, there we
Not
go.
me.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Jesus,
Breaking news.
I
I'll
see
tweet
what
that
happens when you go on Twitter. What the?
This season surely would be more.
Evans, we sign off this. Evan's like, I got a lot of new followers.
Anything for the podcast, baby.
Hey, do you
Anything
guys-
for the podcast.
Any of you guys watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Oh yeah.
Like episode 2 when the bar, no, episode 1, maybe episode 1, one of the first 2 episodes that they did where they turned the bar into a gay bar, but like unknowingly, and then they're like counting all the money, and they're like, it was fantastic anyway. See, there you go.
There you go.
We should probably move on.
This is what happens when we get a GCU supporter, a University of
trying.
Arizona supporter. This is what happens.
I've tried this 4 times, and Justin's cut me off all 4.
You
so
started
that's-
this, Evan.
okay,
Don't
5
look at
times.
us.
5 times. It's this season is surely more of a revenge season than the season before. Now,
Hate you guys.
if you
Can you make that a drop, by the way, and send it to me? That'd be fantastic.
I think I can.
First fanning the flames drop ever. There it is. There it is.
The season before, nobody expected us to make it to the NBA Finals. So yes, it technically could have been a revenge season, but still, even after making the NBA Finals, no one gave us half a shout in hell. To make the finals last year, turns out they were right. But the way it all ended last year, this season is, to me, feels like far more of a revenge season than what last season did.
Absolutely. I mean, who here is still hurt by that Game 7 loss, and who here sees something on Twitter with Dallas and Luka and doesn't just want to throw the phone across the fucking room?
I'm actually okay with it.
You are not a True Suns fan.
One keeps popping up now about what Luka does to Phoenix, and it infuriates me. I'm still not over it. It makes me so mad.
I'm not over it either.
At the end of the day, if fans in Dallas and fans in Golden State want to celebrate COVID like it's a good thing, that's their prerogative. I'm just not a terrible person.
Hold on, man. We would have celebrated like fuck if we had won anything.
Big middle finger to Dallas.
But we wouldn't need COVID. That's all I'm saying.
All right. What about the outs? How much impact are those outs going to have on us? So JaVale McGee played off the court, obviously in the playoffs, and then recruited by the side that played him off the court.
That's the bit that pisses me off to this day. It rubs me the wrong way that he went to that team.
I think it's funny.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure JaVale is Steve Nashing them like he did, like Nash did to the Lakers back in the day. Espionage.
Bring back Shaqtin' a fool because he's going to highlight it.
But they don't have a second ball handler now. They don't have Jalen Brunson. It doesn't matter what JaVale does. They don't have that. And they have guys. They added Christian Wood. I like Christian Wood, by the way. I think Christian Wood to that addition is great until Luka gets in foul trouble or something, right? Like, who's going to be handling the ball and playmaking?
They're going to start him on the bench behind JaVale.
Who, Luka?
No, Christian Wood. They said it on media. Christian Wood's going to.
I guess if we want to answer the question, we lost nothing as far as I'm concerned. So,
I mean, nothing. I thought Biz played better than JaVale when Biz was in.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And don't get me wrong.
So
I love JaVale's.
You think we lost nothing? Now, you think we lost nothing? If we're talking about, Aaron Holiday, who was apparently going to be our savior in the playoffs if we had played him.
If we're being honest,
we would have won the NBA title.
It's amazing how much everyone knows about basketball players that Monty doesn't. It's phenomenal to me. It really is.
And of course, we lost our backup point guard in Alfred Payton.
Once he cut his hair, he wasn't the same.
Once he could see the hoop, his skills diminished.
Right. How crazy is that?
First time
he had
ever.
Skills to start with?
He was fast.
They diminished, whatever they were. Like, it's technically anything
Hold
you
on.
can call it a skill.
Remember when we
do it poorly.
Remember when we first brought him in and he, like, for the first 12, 15 games, nearly averaged a triple-double? Not like the
What?
very first time. Not
Like
last
in
season.
2016 when we had nobody else on the team
Yeah.
and nobody was watching. Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
for
I
the
don't remember. I wasn't watching.
That's when we started our podcast. Think about that insanity.
All right.
And I'm
last
sure
one-
I'm
last
sure
one
the
on this.
topic on one of those podcasts was, is Alfred Payton the savior at point guard? And then the
Dude.
next episode you talked about Anthony Melton.
Let's go back and listen to how much I love Josh Jackson. No, don't, because
Oh
it was
Jesus.
a lot.
Drink. Everyone, he said Josh Jackson, drink.
And look, here's one thing that you'll always get from
Happily.
me. You'll get consistency from me. If you're wearing a Suns uniform, I'm gonna find a way to love you. Okay. There are exceptions. But luckily, not one has yet crossed in an actual uniform, so I'm good there. Nor I think.
Boyd is not giving up.
Ooh, hold on. Did you or did
Boyd
you
is
not
not giving
root
up.
for Robert Ory when he was a Sun?
Yeah, I guess I mean, I would think that I did because I was a child.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Same.
I'll say this.
That's a good
Hey, you know
defense.
what?
You're a
I
child.
don't know. I don't know that I've even shared this on our podcast before. So I don't know if you guys know. I've exchanged some DMs with Robert Ory because
Yes, you
I
Is
have.
he
asked
in legal trouble?
because of the whole Steve Nash apology thing. When I did the cameo, I assumed he wouldn't do it. So his DMs are open on Twitter. So I DM'd him and I was like, so you're not going to do my cameo request, huh? And then he replied to me like a few days later and said, sorry, it was the anniversary of my daughter's death the other day, so I've been a little tied up. And I was immediately like, I'm a dick. But then he actually, we started talking. He started telling me about it. We exchanged a little bit about it. I did a little research on it, and he was on the PHNX pod and talked about it. Dude, that guy. I hate that I like him now, like the person. Like he's a good dude. Like, and you know that's the thing. So
Can you hate somebody for stuff on the court
Well,
and
actually,
hate them for off the court or vice versa? Is that possible?
I think you can. And you know what? Yes, you can, because it's called compartmentalizing, right?
I love Brett Favre for what he did on the field. I sure hate him now, right?
What kind of fund was it? Whatever type of fund it was, right? The fraud, the charity fraud that he's engaging in. Yeah, it's not.
Do these guys know about football? It's like Australian rules football, like with the same ball, but you have to throw it
Totally
and pass
not.
it behind you and
It's,
stuff. And the line
it
of
is
It's a
scrimmage.
completely different
absolutely-
shit game.
In
It is
Australia,
absolutely nothing like Australian rules football.
in Australia, only the fans wear pads. That's what I've heard.
That's accurate.
That's from Necessary Roughness. In case you children don't know the movie.
All right, Captain. Keep
What
it
are we
moving.
talking about? What were we talking about?
Robert Ory
Back on
and
track,
Gavin.
Australian rules football.
Oh,
yeah.
and by the way,
Cool.
for real though, if anybody is interested, go look up Robert Ory. They've got a foundation. Go donate. Good cause.
It's actually really sad what happened to him, but yeah.
Absolutely, it is. And he was great on the PHNX pod too, by the way. I almost started to like him. Any further moves that we're going to make before this season starts off?
Yes.
Not now. We have 15 players now. I think we're going to wait for the MLE.
I think we'll move Jay. So
I hope so.
Before
Why?
the season starts?
What? Because he had the tantrum and he's tried to push his way out.
no. I think there's an understanding. I think there's an understanding that the team is willing to move him. Like they're ready to move him.
So when they didn't
what
offer
I'll
him the
say.
extension he wanted, that was the agreement.
Here's what I'll say is and this may be based off of information, may not be. You guys decide what you want to think, right? I understand that everything's been amicable between the Suns and Jay. It's not like there's any hard feelings. It's all professional. Now, obviously, he's lashed out on Twitter, what have you. Jay's going to be Jay, but I don't think the Suns are, pulling. And here's the thing. I hate the idea that people think that really killed his trade value. You really don't think the other NBA teams already knew that Jay wanted out? Come on.
No, of course he wanted out. He's been asking for a while. Sure.
Right. And plus, again, what value was there anyway? But I think, like I said, I think they'll move him. What they're going to move him for, who knows? But I think they have to.
Hang on then.
So at least that
you
move will
said
be.
it was agreed. It was amicable, or it was said that it was going to happen, right? So why go and have a bitch? Why go and whinge to the media and blast out?
Because he
stupid
wanted to
tweets?
be traded by now.
Dude, that's Jay.
He wanted to be gone by now.
The same
That's
reason he fucking salsa danced in the middle of a playoff game, dude. Like this, that's why. That's why.
Yeah,
It's Jay, you take it. And no, we did not have a YouTube channel because that's way too.
I was going to say,
complicated for us.
can you answer that one just quickly? Because
No.
otherwise I'll forget.
And my co-hosts are ugly.
Dude, I think it's obvious that Jay wanted out from day 1 or day 2 when they told him.
Yeah.
And the Suns haven't done anything. And he's like, all right, fuck this. Trade me.
Yeah. I'll do something about it. Yeah.
I just think that's what happened.
Literally just like 2K.
Before you move on, I think Dwayne Washington Jr. is going to be a very underrated signing. I don't think he's going to get a lot of playing time, to be honest. I mean, he might not even spot start. He's going to spot 7th man, like if Book has to go out for a game or 2 or something like that. And the fact that he's from Grand Rapids too, I think is very underestimated. I lived in Michigan for 8 years. My whole family's from there, played high school basketball up there. It's actually a very close, tight-knit culture in these towns. Saginaw, for example, Saginaw, Michigan, where Jason Richardson and Draymond Green are from. Mm-hmm. You go to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Chris Kamen's from there. Obviously, Book and Dwayne Washington. Monte Morris is from there. Xavier Tillman. There's a handful of guys that are from there. And I think that's a really, like, having somebody from your hometown, next to you. Like, I've always lived away from Phoenix my adult life. So whenever I find somebody that's a Phoenix fan, I'm like, what's up, man? Let's go. Let's have drinks. And I'm always excited to see them because it's somebody that you know. And Dwayne Washington came up and he said he used to be a Pistons fan. Book has said like that his favorite team was the 2004, 2005, whatever with the Wallace brothers. Like, so they have things in common. I think having that for Booker is actually really underrated, more so than I think than having Tyler Ulis back in the day, who was his best friend at the time. Confirmed, unconfirmed, I don't know. Justin, you're about to say something.
Yeah, it goes beyond just being good for Book. Like, they know each other. Their families know each other. That connection is not just by city. It's a true connection. So
right.
Yeah, it's like Book talked recently, I think, about how he, knew Washington when he was growing up and what have you. And I'm with you. I liked that signing. I think I said on our pod that he was perhaps going to be my irrational Suns crush for the year. I think that might actually turn to Jock Landell now.
That's cute.
Well,
no,
I mean,
don't, because we sent him the link. We sent Jock the link, and he's still not here. So.
Well, maybe you should stop calling him a piece of shit publicly, and he'd come on your podcast. That could be the problem. Just saying.
Show him some love.
That was accidental. I
John,
dropped out at a bad time.
Fanning the Flames does not think you're a piece of shit. We think you're a fantastic Australian, and really admired the work you did at St. Mary's College.
Can I come be a guest on your show?
West Coast Conference School. I know it.
Hey,
Justin, I'll come be a guest on your show when you get him on. All right?
Tyler Useless. Do you forget that this man hit a game winner in a summer league game or something like that? Come on, man.
He hit one against Boston at home, didn't he?
He did. Yes.
Why is Voider not on this?
Seriously? At his home, like on 2K?
No, come on. You don't remember him hitting the game winner?
No, I actually don't remember him hitting. I don't.
All right,
but I'm old.
I real quick, I just had a spider about this big just crawl right behind my bass traps there, so this is gonna be fun later. Awesome, awesome.
Trap.
You had a baby spider.
A baby spider.
That's not a. That's not
in
a
Australia.
knife. This is a knife.
In Australia, that's a baby.
This will be fun.
All right.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
Suns Media Day. Let's keep moving. Jesus,
we're an hour in and we're getting Media Day now.
Fantastic. Media Day.
Almost caught up.
I know Voider was at Media Day. I'm sure we'll see some comments about it. Actually, before we do, Tyler's shot helped the Suns win one of their 19 games that year. Yes, it did. Suns Media Day. What were your thoughts on Suns Media Day? Evan?
Can we just not? That's what it was. Can we just not have to go there? like everything was so vague. It was all within context. It's like watching a Fox reality show when they show all these stunning reactions, but really it's footage that's taken over a 1,500 hours worth of footage, and they just put the exact, look that they want to choose for that exact comment. It was so vague. We don't know the context of it. And then now there's all these pictures of DeAndre actually smiling with everybody and like, I'm happy to be here. I just don't care. I just don't care.
The good thing was that all of this blew up, and I listened to the Suns Jam Session podcast when Voida.
Oh, there he is. Hold on, guys.
Did the you kill that Spider-Man? Kill
I'm
him.
gonna go get that bastard.
The Voida actually said that
going to get something to kill it with, not his hand.
Walking.
Who kills a spider with their hand, you psychopath?
That's what we did.
That's weird.
That's what we do in Australia.
We don't do that in America.
That's what we do in Australia.
You guys are gross.
Pick it up, put it outside.
Pick it up.
Yeah, why not?
Well, it's not
going to hurt you that bad. Voida said that DA was happy and smiling and everything before he walked in. And let's be honest, the media over there has given him that much shit for that many years that I'm not surprised that he was short with them.
Yeah, dude. Like, how about this? DA saw all the dudes that shit on him all off season and was like, hey, fuck you guys. Ooh, big surprise. That's what I would do.
Nate.
He'll come back.
He'll come back.
Yeah, no, I do. No, that's it. I think that's what DA's doing, and good for him. He doesn't need to sit there and entertain media. They're not going to respect him. Why should he give a shit about them? I would treat them the same way.
Yeah.
Treat the people that care about you and that you care about, like his teammates, the way that you act normally. And if people are dicks to you, then be a dick back.
Yeah.
I have no qualms with it. And I mean, everyone's like, oh, DA, he doesn't take shit seriously. Well, he's serious now. And now everyone's like, oh, he's not happy.
Yeah, now everyone's giving him shit for being serious. Yeah. Yeah.
Guess what? Oh, Monty didn't talk. Dude, he's a grown-ass man.
And that is the exact same thing I thought about Jay Crowder when he was coming out. And I forgot to mention this. Like, every one of us plus their mom included Jay Crowder in a trade for Kevin Durant. Like, he was the obvious throw-in, right?
Yeah.
So now he comes out and is like, I want to be traded. And everyone's like, I don't like Jay anymore. He's not my best friend.
What an asshole.
How dare he? Like, come on, man.
We showed him all the love in the world. Yeah.
You remember when we were in the Sun shop together and the only Rally the Valley jersey I could find was the Jay Crowder one? Well, I'm holding it up. We're both looking at it going, he's going to get fucking traded. Bought it anyway. It's the only way you can get a Phoenix jersey with 9s on it these days.
Yeah, well, and just for those listening, Just Sports released the Sunburst pre-order today, and the Aussie Suns fans chat group has sprung into action. We're getting a massive combined order and just going to somehow get around everything and get it sent over here, which that'll be fun.
Normally, I would get in on that.
Yeah.
Wait, are you really?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, they are.
I thought like you weren't allowed to get that shit in Australia.
No, we're not. But somebody's found a way around it. So either we're all going to get Sunburst jerseys, or someone's going to make a heap of money without giving us Sunburst jerseys. One of those two things will happen. All right, training camp so far. I think, well, we sort of touched on it. Yes, use code SUNSJAM for 15% off.
Which they got after I talked shit about Just Sports publicly, just for the record. You're welcome, Voida.
Nate, how does an Aussie become a GCU fan?
Oh, that's simple. It's Dan Marley's. It's all about Dan Marley. That's what it is.
Suns training camp.
Hold on, that should be a Central Michigan Chippewas jersey.
Yeah, no,
excuse you.
This is literally one of. So last time we all did this, we got together. I wore all Marley stuff.
Like you worked there.
Yeah, because we were going there, and I wanted to get free shit. And me and Gav went there, and we got so much free shit. So I'm just wearing the free shit.
Rock on.
So this is literally this. They gave me this at Marley's. I love it. It's
that's
perfect.
my next jersey purchase is Marley.
So a heads up for that. We went to Marley's and basically sat there from 12 o'clock until 12 o'clock
12
midday
a.m.
until 12 a.m. And the co-owner came out and went, "You guys are from Australia. Here, have some free shit." And we got signed basketball, shoes, jerseys, like a heap of stuff, and a couple of great prints that I lost at the airport because I was still drunk.
Lost.
So all we got to do is talk with an
Left.
accent, sit in Marley's for 12 hours, and we get free shit.
Correct.
Well, you got to learn to drink like us too. But
Yeah, you do.
They drink
Our
a
bill,
lot.
our bill was our bill was quite high. Our bill was quite high.
Hey,
Suns
that one day we went out and I bought you guys drinks. I was shocked. I was like, this is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Thank you.
Ooh, fighting words.
that was the chicken wings joint, wasn't it?
That was
Or was
the
this
chicken wings, so,
first day at Talking
Oh yeah,
Stick?
that's right. I
I'm
bought
not
drinks
too sure.
twice. God, I'm a nice guy.
yeah.
Lest anybody say differently, because some people say I'm an asshole. I don't know who those people are.
Something for a different pod.
Guys,
Very much so. Sorry.
everyone's seen the highlights of training camp. Comments, anything? Let's go.
Were they highlights? Were they?
Yeah, because I'm going to be quick too. I've been so busy this week. I haven't seen shit from training camp.
Evan,
Besides pictures
try
of
and
DA
say this,
smiling.
will you?
Again, I just don't care. But the one thing that really, really intrigued me, the one thing was learning about how far ahead they are from last year and learning that they're putting new stuff in, different stuff in. That's the stuff I care about. You know, I've seen everybody like doing shots and all that stuff. And it just, training camp just doesn't matter because they don't put in the work like it's an NFL training camp or an Aussie rules training camp, or excuse me. Because it's an 82 game season, it's 8 months. Like training camp is just a way to start loosening everything up, you know, start get the feathers ruffled a little bit and, you know, just start competing a little bit more. It just really doesn't move the needle for me because it's so preliminary at this point. And the questions that we need answered, we're not going to know until halfway through the season. Like, is Monty going to be the type of coach that can actually adjust to things now, right? Because he's been outplayed in 2 different playoff series. Things like that I care about. The stuff that we're seeing in training camp is very just minute to me because it's not going to matter 2 or 3 months down the road, just in my opinion, as long as there's not an injury, knock on wood.
Nice.
Well,
That'll do.
there's people yelling too. It's birds. The zoo.
Yeah, I did
Mid-afternoon
say
at the Spall household.
I got 4 kids, man. They're going to yell. It's what they do. Just one more example of how on fire John Voider is tonight.
Well, I feel like he's just using the word cunt now to use it. Jeez.
All right, and he has a question for us. Monty Silverbeard, thoughts?
Chef's kiss.
Handsome.
This is...
Wise.
Nate hasn't seen it, so...
Oh, yeah, no, I'm familiar. But just, again, that was a media day thing where they zoomed in on it. But I'm still with all the feathers and coming out with Evan. It's great. I'm just so glad our platform could assist.
You be careful there in Salt Lake City, dude. Okay.
It gets dangerous.
All right. Our next segment is I'm just going to keep moving this along now. Random Suns. This is a new segment we started a little while ago. I expect with 2 special guests, they'll be able to clean sweep this. We have 6. I've gone 6 because it is a special edition. Have you all got a pen and paper?
I feel like I'm going to be losing this week.
Those of you in the chat, please wait.
You've used all the obvious ones.
Please wait until we start to go through and get the answers before giving these guys answers and giving them an out. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Here we go. And you can tell I rushed that because the third one had his fucking name on it.
I was going to say that. I'm like, well, I know I'm getting one, and that's all I'm getting.
The third one had his name on it. My God, I've done so well. Okay, first Phoenix Sun random player. Justin, who was it?
I have no fucking clue, dude. I didn't know they were gonna go like immediately like that. I didn't have time. I don't remember what he looked like.
Do you want me to run it again? I'll run it again.
Run it one more
Yeah,
time. One
run
more
it
time.
I'll run it one more time. You ready? Here we go. By the way, don't look at the name on the third one.
Okay.
All right, how'd we go this time?
Still shit.
Justin, who was the first one?
No clue.
No clue.
Evan,
No clue.
Nate,
Nah. I almost said
guys.
Shannon Brown, and then I'd like, no.
anyone in the chat know who that was? Too late. It was AJ Price. Who was number two?
Oh, sure.
Who was number two?
I wrote down nope.
Evan?
I don't.
Something Morris.
You read the back of the jersey.
Justin,
That's all I got. That's all I got too.
That was Chris Morris. Formed a backcourt with Steve Nash for a while. Number three.
Ooh,
Danny Shays.
ooh. Yeah.
I don't know who that was. Number four.
Earl
I
Clark.
can't-
Justin.
Yeah, I was gonna say Earl Clark. I couldn't remember which order it was.
Nate?
But
Yeah, no, I didn't get that. No.
No,
I've got a consistent answers all the way through now.
It was absolutely Earl Clark. Number five.
Nicely done, gentlemen.
You know, I don't remember I don't remember the picture itself, but the number just popped in my head, and I'm thinking this now. That wasn't Armin Gilliam, was it?
Evan.
Kenny Gattinson.
Nate.
I've still got nope.
It was Kenny Gattison.
I only know that because I had his card. Like I had a random Suns card and I kept all my Suns players in one little sleeve, and that's the only reason I know that.
When he said the name, I was like, that was him. And I don't know why I thought that was him, but I was like, yeah.
I originally thought Andrew Lang for some reason.
Same era as Gilliam. R.I.P. By the way, Armin Gilliam.
And number six, Justin.
Taylor Griffin.
Evan.
No, Blake's brother.
I literally looked at that and said it looks like Blake Griffin, but then I wrote down nope, sir.
Nope, Griffin.
It was Taylor Griffin. Well done. Well done. I think Evan takes the award there, though.
That was fun.
Yeah,
Kenny,
to get
definitely.
one.
Kenny Gattinson Atkinson?
Gattinson?
Gattinson.
Yeah. Blake
He's now
Griffin's
my
brother.
18th favorite Suns player ever just for that.
There you go.
I will accept Blake Griffin's brother as an answer. All right, thumbs up, thumbs down. We only have three of them. So let's give it a go. Evan, you haven't done this before. Basically, how it works, we ask the question, you give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and then we talk about it after all of the answers.
Hold on. I got yelled at earlier before the pod because I asked a question. You said it had to be a statement. You just said you asked a question.
Yeah, Gav does tend to change the rules every week, and and that's what happens when you get out of line.
Remember, I have control.
Completely deserved.
Do not challenge Gav.
All right, question one. Sarver will sell the team before the season ends. Justin.
Oh,
Thumbs down.
yeah.
Thumbs down.
Evan, I am also a thumbs down. Boring start. Rebounding will be our Achilles heel again this season. Justin.
Thumbs down.
Nate.
Thumbs down.
Evan. I am also a thumbs up. The Suns will sell for over $3 billion.
Haven't we already
yeah.
established?
Justin.
Like, yeah, for sure.
Just the Suns, not the Suns and Mercury, just the Suns.
No. Thumbs down.
Oh, well then, yeah.
It's like 4 million then, I think, right?
Nate.
Can we make it four? Can we make it 4 billion? So maybe
Okay,
we
4
can
billion.
down.
Okay.
It's one.
The
it's
Suns
one
will sell
business.
for over
It's one
4 billion.
business.
I'm still saying thumbs up.
Thumbs
All right, I'll
down
go
for
down.
Evan. And
I'll go
I
down.
will also go down. All right. There are our 3 questions. Sarver will sell before the season ends. We all went thumbs down. Why? Evan.
Just too many. It's a huge thing to overcome in 8 months. A huge sale. I mean, houses. I mean, you have a hard time getting 45 to 60 days. It's just a house for a regular guy. So I think selling an actual sports franchise that's arguably going to be the biggest ever. That's just going to take time to get all your I's dotted, T's crossed, and all that stuff. I mean, hell, the University of Utah was in talks with Pepsi for 2 years to get them as a sponsor, to somehow, some way not show any type of blue in their logo at the U, because, you know, blue is BYU and University of Utah is red. So they had to find a way to creatively get red. I mean, it's little shit like that will take time that we won't know about. It's gonna take time. I think we'll have a clue of who it is, though. I think we'll definitely know who the highest bidders are at that point.
Nate.
I mean, everything that just got said, but I mean, if I've been working for companies that get bought out, and even the final sale date and the transition phase takes years. There's no way this gets done that quickly.
Justin.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to take some time. I mean, you're going to have to find a buyer. You might have to find a buyer that's putting together a group, and you're going to have to go through the transaction process, all the documentation, and you have to get approval too. The NBA, the rest of the governors, you still have to get 3/4 vote for a transfer like that. So they're going to have a meeting. All that kind of stuff is going to come into play. So I think it's going to take more than the season. But look, maybe it won't. Maybe no, because again, it would be nonsensical. Maybe behind closed doors, Robert Sarver already has somebody, you know, that he's been talking to, but that wouldn't make sense because again, then why would he let the report come out? So I hope it's faster. It'd be great to put it behind us, but I think it'll take time.
Yeah. Big organization, everything you guys said, it's just going to take some time. So when we win the championship next season, Sarver could still be the owner and probably will be.
But he will be
suspended.
And
Correct.
he cannot hoist said trophy.
Yeah.
Correct.
Which would be just as
Poetic.
good.
Poetic justice.
It'd be fantastic to not have him there. Although his replacement, from everything I read, is just as big a dickhead.
Wait, what? Oh, the
replacement governor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird situation too. Why?
Why was he allowed to choose his own successor?
Well, he didn't get to choose. He had a say in it. I don't have an issue with him having a say in it because at the end of the day, he is still the managing member of that entity. But like to make it be literally like the guy that Sarver would probably choose, like you got to give something there, right? Like it seems like it was less input and more, to your point, Gav, him choosing, and that's bizarre. But
yeah, agree.
Maybe Sarver was like, "I'll sell if you let this guy run it for a year," which would be weird too. Which would be really disconcerting, actually, if that happened. So I'm not going to think about that.
No, probably let that one go. Rebounding will be our Achilles heel again this season. So you two went thumbs down. So I'm going to let Justin, you can go first.
Well, your question assumes that I believe it was the Achilles heel last season, which I don't, because I believe that was COVID. Okay. Second, we're just going to make all of our shots this year. So we'll fuck rebounding, whatever.
So we're going to go all fucking Kevin Porter Jr. at Houston, where they don't need to play defense. They're just going to steal the ball and score.
Yeah,
We'll
I mean, we
just
might
score
miss a
every
couple
shot. Yeah.
shots, but they'll miss
Yeah.
more, so we'll be fine.
Okay, so who's going to rebound when they miss?
When what?
When the other team misses, for us to go on
Oh,
offense,
that's-
who's going to rebound?
Well, maybe it'll just be a team rebound, ball bounce out of bounds. That's how we'll get our wins.
I like it.
Okay, see, I got it covered.
Nate.
Well, so what was it? You and Evan both went up thinking it's still going to be our biggest problem this year.
I said it'll be an Achilles heel, yeah.
Achilles heel. I
Well,
failed to see
and-
that we're going to go another year repeating the same mistakes. Something has to get addressed. There's. I just don't see it, especially with all the jock love I bring to the table. He's going to fill that void. Yeah, he's going to get all those boards.
In his 3 minutes a game, yeah.
I put a bit of weight in the fact that we rested too between seasons. Like the last 2 years have been back to back. Guys have been tired. Maybe there's a bit more hustle going to show this year. Maybe they're going to put a bit more importance on not the number of wins, but playing the right way.
Evan, why is rebounding going to be an Achilles heel again?
Look, I think the first few years of DeAndre Ayton's career, he had an innate Ben Wallace attribute. And that was, just like Dennis Rodman, was able to get in the correct position. So he really didn't have to do a lot of things when it came to rebounding because he was already in the correct position. Shots going up in the corner, he's on the opposite side of the rim. I mean, same thing goes for the wing. He gravitated toward that spot. And so he was just able to gobble up 11 like it was nothing, right? When it comes to Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson, all those guys that we've had in the past, they're just sitting there ball watching. Everybody was watching the ball, even DeAndre Ayton towards the end last year, and it kind of tended to be their huge Achilles heel, where Jackson Hayes is getting rebounds over DeAndre Ayton. Jonas Valanciunas is eating Ayton alive underneath the rebound, and I question if we can go up against, just from a rebounding aspect, how are we even going to go up against Portland when you have Jeremy Grant now you're starting four? And you have Nurkic, right? That's going to be tough. What is it going to be like going against Jackson Hayes, Jonas Valanciunas, and a healthy Zion? What's it going to be like going against Steven Adams and Jaren Jackson's too, when you have your second best rebounder is going to have to be Cam Johnson? Mm-hmm. If DeAndre Ayton can get back to that and have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder now, Ayton can easily average 13 to 14 rebounds next year. I'm talking easily, you guys, easily. Because he gets in position. If he fights for it, you're talking about unleashing a completely different part of this Phoenix Suns team, just from a rebounding aspect. The problem is we just don't know. We're just four guys just throwing shit on a wall and seeing what sticks, to be honest with you. We have no freaking idea what's being talked about, what's going on. But we're going to find out in the very first game when it comes to rebounding. We will find that out. That's for damn sure. And so for that reason, I think it's going to be a problem because I think there's going to be other teams that are bigger that can, I don't want to say manhandle us, but for lack of better terms, I'm going to say that. And the only other issue would be secondary ball handling once Book and Chris Paul are not the primary ball handlers. So that's what I got.
Yeah, agree. 100%. I think probably our second unit is going to be better on the boards. Our first unit, we have DA, and that's about it. Outside of that, our second unit, if we start throwing Jock and Saric in at the same time, probably be better on the boards. But I still think it's a concern for us. And it certainly was last season. So we'll see how that comes out. We've got to get through the next one quickly because we do have a special guest who's joined us. The Suns will sell for over $4 billion. I think, who else? Who went where?
Justin was the only one up when you restructured the $4 billion threshold.
Yeah, I mean, didn't the Clips went for like 2.4?
Yeah,
almost a decade ago.
Yeah,
this
you're
would be a
right.
thumbs up, thumbs down on my my man bun. That's a good point there. Oh, never mind. I just saw him comment about me. I don't know about that.
Nice.
I have thought about trying pigtails, Voida. Maybe I will.
So we'll answer this quickly. What do you think they'll go for? 4 point what, Justin?
Oh, geez. $4
4.0?
billion and $1.
Okay. Evan?
3.8 bills.
Ooh. Nate?
Oh, this is what we're doing now. Okay. I'll
Financial
lowball it and say
analysis.
This is the way to move it
I'll go
quickly.
3.6.
Yeah, I think 3.6. 3.6 is going to be the way. Voida, he's all over 4.3. So
$1.
look, no matter what happens, let's be honest, the Suns are going to break a record for a sale price.
Yeah. Until the next one gets sold, right?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
All right. We do have a special guest, so I'll bring him in now. Boyd, what's happening, my man?
Hey, what's going on, buddy? Can you hear me okay?
We can, mate. We can. I
Better
love
than
your hat.
ever.
Your boyfriend's with us, Justin.
Is me my boy here? Can you see him? Can you see
Oh,
the little-
beautiful.
I don't see-
Man, I'm having some beers at a 40th, bashing around. It was a bit of a late start, so we fucking around getting 5 kids all together to come to this party, and that's
You've
why
still
I'm a
got
little
one
bit
hanging
late.
off the front of you.
I got one hanging off.
Is there like a minimum child requirement in Australia? Because I feel like, that must be why Nate left, because he didn't have the kids. So like, you got to leave now. You don't have at least 4 kids.
Oh, mate, I'm keen to go for a couple more. I wanted twins, but the missus.
Well, if you have 3 more, they'll let Nate back into the country, I hear.
Boyd's almost got an entire basketball team, but this is a great crossover. He's gone drinking the beers. Great crossover.
I would kill everyone in this room for a drop of sweet beer.
Who do we want to have a beer with this week?
Don't drip on the kid's head.
No, I was going to say, this is literally a Gretchen Wilson country song right now.
Good thing this is an Australian podcast. I don't know if this is illegal in America.
I did a
I would
beautiful
get fired.
transition. Boyd, who do you want to have a beer with this week?
Mate, I want to have a beer with Lauren Jackson, our Aussie Opal. She came back to represent Australia for the Opals, of course. At what is she? 42 years old?
41.
41 years old, yeah. And she's just hung her boots up or her shoes up. So I want to have a beer with Lauren and just talk about it, mate. She had a family and then came back to playing high grade basketball. So yeah, good on her, mate. She's our pride and joy. So that's why I'm having a beer.
Love it, mate. I have no idea where you're walking to, but I love it. Nate,
Careful on
who
the
do
side
you
of the
wanna-
road there.
Nate, who do you want to have a beer with?
I'll have to provide some context after I say, but the Ned's Street Talk crew here at F1. So in Singapore right now is the big F1 weekend, and they've got a Ned's Street Talk crew that are filming and walking around with a microphone, the biggest flog in F1. And they're interviewing people, the drunk guys, to find out who the biggest flog is in the drivers, in the pits, and some of it's quite funny. So they're here. I figure I had a beer with them, I'd have a good laugh, and I'd probably get a better answer to the next bit with the flog of the week.
Evan, who would you like to have a beer with?
I have to have one with Jock Landell at this point.
Oh, fuck Jock.
I can't imagine why he won't come on the pod, guys.
I'll
Oh,
tell them you
man.
said that while we're having a sweet beer together.
I'm totally coming on your guys' pod.
Wow.
He's never coming on
Justin,
this.
Justin, who do you want to have a beer with?
You know what? I'll
Boys,
say
baby.
this. I'm going to say one of the guys in the chat here. It's not Voida. Sorry, I love you, buddy. I'm going to say Sunderous. You know why? I don't know. Just because I like the guy. He called Dan a MAGA nut, which I thought was fucking hilarious. So Sign me
cool
up.
as
Let's have a beer and talk about my MAGA nut buddy. No, but for real, I
Way
really
to take
do.
it political. Love it.
He's down there. He's here in the chat. Maybe he's not here anymore. I don't know. But
No, he's still
I
here.
do
He's
enjoy
still
his
here.
interactions. He also likes to give me a little bit of shit from time to time, which I appreciate. But he
You
also
need
is a
You need,
reasonable
that,
guy
you need to
because
be pulled into line.
he knows I'm a bit of an asshole, but he also I feel like gets that I'm not really an asshole, right? There it is. Let's go, Sunderist. Next time you're in Arizona, brother, we're doing it. Or if I ever wherever you live, I don't know where that is. I'll be quiet.
For me, based on today and clearly based on the beers he's already had, I want to have a beer with Voida because these Jock Landell nicknames, he is on fire right now, and he's also managed to use the word cunt on at least 6 occasions in the chat.
He's really held up the quality of this broadcast. Yep.
I would prefer to have a couple shots and then a beer with Voida. I think that's the correct way to go about it.
I'm okay with that. I'm also okay with that. Okay, let's roll in.
Don't be a flog.
Boyd, who's your flog of the week?
The entire cast of Wind Horses podcast. Carrying on about dire straits in Phoenix and the fact that is it fucking McMahon or some prick like that? But they're on there talking about the fact that, they're backing us to go unders on the line that we are for wins this season. I was like, fuck off, man. But yeah, fuck that whole crew. That whole fucking Windhorse, McMenamin, or whoever the fuck he is, getting on there, just talking us down. National media, as soon as they get a fucking chance, these pricks are fucking right on us. They're fucking right on us, right? They're fuck them flogs.
God, I'm so happy Boyd came.
Wow. Nate, who's your flog of the week?
Mine's going to be a bit of a cop-out, but I mean, every time I think about it, I keep coming back to Jay, but at the same time, I just want to have a beer with him as well, pat him on the back and say, it's going to be all right, buddy. Settle down.
So that's your flog, or?
Yeah, he's still a flog this week.
Yeah, right.
I don't like the drama. I don't like tantrums. So, yeah, change your tampon, get over it.
Evan?
It's a tie between Mavericks fans and Brett Favre.
Oh, I saw the Favre thing.
All types of good stuff when you rob from the poor to give to the rich. All good things happen there.
Yeah.
What a weird
I saw
move,
that.
Too. Those are government monies. Like, you don't think that's gonna get discovered? Come on, bro.
You couldn't get another Gatorade sponsorship or some sort of Bengay sponsorship. Come on.
Surely that dude.
Those terrible jeans commercials a few years ago.
Yeah.
Surely that dude
Walmart.
And all to build a volleyball stadium at his kid's school.
He's surely made enough money that he doesn't have to rob poor people.
Well,
shows what you know.
God only knows what he did with that money, right?
Justin,
brilliant birds.
you were pretty excited about this. Who's your flog of the week?
I was, and it's funny because I had something in mind, and I'm like, I need to scroll through my Twitter feed to find it. And as I had discovered one that I think I'm actually going to go with because it's worse than the one I was looking at. Mine's Kim Mulkey. Do you guys know who she is?
No fucking idea.
She is the head coach of the women's Baylor's basketball team, which is where Brittany Griner went, right? And she was asked during a press conference this week, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Brittany Griner situation. I don't think I've seen anything from you on that. And her response was, and you won't. You're a cunt.
Wow.
Go to fucking hell. Burn, and you're a piece of shit.
Didn't Brittany Griner play for her?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, yeah. That's, what was that, boy?
Is she a MAGA nut? Is she a MAGA?
Oh, yeah.
Girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I'll ask Dan, but yeah, I think so.
For this. Brittany Griner is literally in Russia for this.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
When that happened, by the way. I like tweeted something to that effect, like just for a vape pen, and somebody fucking replied to me, was like, actually, it was because there was marijuana in the vape pen. I'm like, okay, thank you. Fucking clarification. This is what's wrong with our world.
How the
Just
fuck has that
to-
exchange, that prisoner exchange, not been done? Like,
Because we
Probably
don't want to
just-
give
probably
up mass
because they want
murderers
like a
for him.
murderous
For her.
psychopath, and we're like,
An actual psychopath rather than someone who's smoking a vape pen.
6'8" center for the American team. Yeah.
In saying that too, though, marijuana in a vape pen illegal here. So when you guys do come out visit us, just don't bring your marijuana vape pens.
I have my medical card.
And don't
it's all legal
don't
here.
let Nate have any edibles.
yeah, don't. Never again.
Don't.
Never again.
We're not allowed to talk about that story of Nate and the edibles.
We'll talk about it off air. I'm curious. I have questions.
I
we
still
got
have
in.
questions.
All right, my flog of the week. My flog of the week is one of our Aussie Suns fans. It's I hate to do this because I love you all, but Boyd Crawley rocking up to the fucking podcast looking like an actor out of fucking The Hangover. He's got his child fucking
Oh my
attached
god,
to the front.
that's right.
He's got his beers, stupid hat, stupid glasses. The fuck are you doing, Boyd?
Who let
It
the
does
dogs out?
look like an
Are you
episode of
guys ready to
Thousands
let-
right now.
Hey guys, guess what?
You look
All you-
exactly like Zach Galifianakis right now.
Bro, all your soothing voices have put my baby to sleep. I've downed 2 beers. I'm vaping, walking down a fucking busy road, and
Father
You
of the
guys
fucking
talking
year right here.
you guys are talking shit, and my baby just went to sleep with all this sort of shit going on. It's great.
I think he's doing fantastic.
I think you're winning life, and we need to learn from you.
1000%. 1000%. Can I throw a second flog out? Because I really want to throw my second one out.
Yes, go for it.
I'm just gonna, and I'll be a little general. Pretty much every media member that has said, you shouldn't read into body language and then writes a fucking article about how DeAndre Ayton's not smiling. Fuck off. Okay.
And then there's pictures every single day of him smiling with his teammates. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Espo continuously tweets like DeAndre Ayton's really unhappy in those pictures. I love heel Espo. He's my favorite.
Gavin, I had a few questions for you guys. If you had any other segments, let's get to that.
Before we
Andrew,
move
I
on,
do have that.
I just want to point
I
out
do
that
have
Justin said the word flog and little general in the same sentence. I didn't think that could be left unsaid.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah.
Oh well, it's the pod for it now with you coming out.
I'm gonna.
You know what's amazing?
else is
I don't
taking
even
place.
listen to myself.
Jesus.
I didn't know it said that.
I'm going to open it up for your questions, Evan. But before I do, those of you in the chat that are supporting Boyd right now, you make me sick.
My being, I can't see the chat.
Boyd,
no, everyone said you're a
Boyd
wanker.
called you a national treasure, and he is 1000% correct.
I am.
I would agree.
Sunday says you finally look grown up.
All right. Here's the opportunity. Evan, go. Australian.
I got like
Ask us.
2 or 3, and it all has
Go
to do
for
with
it.
Australian basketball. Who is the best Australian basketball player to ever come out of Australia?
Lauren Jackson.
Ben Simmons.
This is debatable because I'm a bit of a historian on this. So I like Shane Heal and Andrew Gay's days because they really put Australia on the map.
I don't
they
even
now?
know those names. When would they
So,
come out? That's no
well,
disrespect.
What
Shane
map?
Hill played for the Minnesota Timberwolves
Okay.
back in the Barkley era.
He's the one that picked the fight with Barkley at the Olympics, wasn't it?
Correct.
No
he
shit.
did.
Awesome.
Yeah, he fought Barkley at the Olympics.
Is he the one that got thrown out of like a glass wall or something like that? Remember that, Justin? There was the whole
No,
Phoenix scandal out of
you
a
mean that-
window.
No, that was a bar. Barkley threw a dude through a plate glass window at a bar.
Yeah.
It was not Shane Hill. Shane Hill fought Charles Barkley on a basketball court, but Andrew Gaze was the groundbreaker for Australian basketball. So
Can we
he
talk
was-
about though how
played
bad
at
it
the
would be to
Spurs.
throw somebody through a pane glass window? That would be.
We're
fucking
talking about
sweet.
Andrew Gase right now. We're not
Sorry.
talking about that Samurai Justin.
Sorry.
He's yeah. So Andrew Gase played for the Spurs. Actually, during the titles with Tim Duncan.
Yeah, Hamo speaks. Andrew Gase, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is literally a national treasure when it comes to basketball.
He did win a chip in the NBA, but so did Patty Mills and Aaron Baines for the Spurs. So yeah, Luke Longley won with the Bulls.
And yep, there you go. The real Bulls goat. Yeah.
Yep. So there's been a lot of great Australians, but when it comes to actual impact, I mean, Lauren Jackson won a league MVP in the WNBA. Was just a superstar.
So you're saying she's better than Michelle Timms?
Yes.
Shameful.
As an actual player?
Shameful.
As
as
a player, yes. But
Michelle Timms is a great leader, though.
Michelle Timms was great. Penny Taylor, obviously, at the
Love
Phoenix
Penny.
Mercury, outstanding. So we've had some fantastic exports that have gone out there.
Okay.
Right now, the most loved. Someone put in the comment before. I'll find it. Patty Mills is the most loved Australian right now. There is no doubt about it. Just his work with Indigenous people in Australia, and he was just recently here. Everybody in Australia loves Patty Mills. They don't even care where he plays.
That's where he was the
gonna
flag
ask
bearer
about-
at the Olympics.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I was going to
That's
ask
right.
about Andrew Bogut being a number 1 pick, and I forgot about Dante Exum as well, too.
Yeah, so
A lot of people hate Andrew Bogut.
Yeah, Andrew Bogut's a little bit split out here. So there's a lot of people that like him, a lot of people that hate him. He was a great player, but that first injury he got, where the horrific one off the dunk, where he broke his arm and shoulder and everything else, basically stopped him from being our best export, I think.
What college did he go to?
Good question.
That's a good question. Can't
I know it.
remember.
Wait, can I say
I know
something?
where Andrew Gase went. He went to Seton Hall.
Go, jump in,
University-
Justin.
University of Utah.
Andrew Bogut is the Australian equivalent of a MAGA guy. He's fucking a conspiracy theorist.
No, he
Jesus.
is. He is. Yeah,
Which
he
is probably why University of Utah fans adore him.
Yes, that's why he went to school in Utah. Yes,
along with
He's
along
like,
with
this place is fantastic.
didn't he play with Sweet Man Porn? I mean Keith Van Horn.
but Andrew Bogut and Lizzie Cambage are pretty much the same out here with how much people like or hate them, and they have their own personal rivalry and hate each other. So that's quite entertaining.
There we go. Okay, next question. Who is the current star, if you will, of Australian basketball from Australia now
In the NBL,
in the NBL?
Oh, the biggest name in the NBL right now is Aaron Baines.
yeah, Aaron Baines has come back. But who's the
Yeah.
next big thing, Nate? Who's our next Josh Giddey?
Well, that
I got a
depends on the
name
Next
for you
Stars
guys.
program. You go on. Because,
Kai Soto.
oh, you're Filipino from the
he's-
Adelaide
he's not
36ers.
Australian. He's not
Filipino
Australian.
center on the Adelaide 36ers sounds like a fucking future NBA star to me, baby.
For the Washington Wizards, you're right.
Yeah,
Get me
he'll slot in right
Anyway.
next to Rui
Okay.
Rui.
Hachimura.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
cheers, bro.
Yeah, right, boy.
Boyd's just saying hi to people. Not Australian
The-
so friendly.
No, so this year the NBL's really exciting, actually. So, and if we look at Suns, we've got Aaron Baines has come back to the Brisbane Bullets. Tyler Johnson is playing at the Brisbane Bullets.
Brisbane Bullets.
Big Source, Alan Williams,
Brisbane
is playing at the
Suns.
South.
Hey,
East
love
Melbourne
yeah,
Phoenix.
buddy.
So yeah, a few former Suns have come down and playing NBL this year. Actually, Alan Williams plays tonight at 6:00. I almost went down and watched the game, but I'm talking to you guys instead.
That's better. That's fine.
Yeah.
And isn't
Last
it only
qu-
like 4 o'clock there? You got time.
Yeah, no, I
what is it?
don't.
No.
It's like 10 to
No,
2.
it's 4.
so.
It's 10 to 4 here. Yeah. So yeah, the NBL should be a really, really good comp this year. And obviously we had LaMelo came down, played, and
For
probably
3/4 of a season.
probably expanded his draftability, probably pushed him up the board a little bit playing in the NBL. And Josh Giddey, obviously from Adelaide 36ers, who went pretty high and is started his career quite well.
Yeah.
So,
George
Evan,
Kingston,
Larry
wow.
Hesselman that owns the NBL started the Next Stars sort of element of the NBL to fit that loophole, that one and done loophole, where the
Yeah.
NBL qualifies as a place you can sit someone for a year and get them grown up experience. So it's interesting each year to see which players come in and take those Next Stars spots. But this year's definitely been highlighted by the ex-NBA players coming back and multiple ones.
Who was who was the other guy that came in the same year as Melo and got drafted the same year?
Jalen Green.
No.
He went to the New Zealand Breakers. He went to the New Zealand Breakers. He's in Orlando at the moment. He's in Orlando at the moment.
He's a guard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hampton.
Yeah.
Who was
Hampton?
Who was the biggest NBA or college star that came to the NBL, played in Australia, that Australians just took to, fell in love with, whatever term you want to use? Is there anybody that came over there that everybody just gravitated to?
Yes.
A number of them. Leroy Loggins was one who went and played in Brisbane. Leonard Copeland. Shut up, Boyd. Leonard Copeland. who came to Melbourne. Daryl McDonald, who also came to Melbourne, was quite popular. Dave Simmons, Ben's dad, was very, very popular. Who else was there? Scott Fisher was extremely popular, played at multiple NBL teams down here and ended up out at Perth.
There's a few
Melvin Thomas, Butch Hayes.
Butch Hayes was extremely popular down here.
Bryce Cotton.
CJ Bruton.
I know Bryce Cotton. That's the first one you've said I know.
Yep.
Bryce Cotton. He is basically an Australian now. He's like one. Yeah. I think he's due for citizenship or nationalisation this year. So he reverts from being an international contract to a local contract in the NBL because he's been at Perth for so long now. But yeah, Bryce Cotton. They love him there. They absolutely love him.
You guys
he's a star in the game.
You guys ever hear a player down there, Cameron Rigby? Does that name ring a bell? From like the 2000s?
Not really.
Yeah. That's all.
What about Jahi Carson?
No.
All right.
Terry Dozier, Ricky Grace.
Hamo Speaks just laid a bomb. Josh Childress.
Yeah, Josh Childress. He was down here.
That guy.
Do you know who else was down here?
Josh
Craig.
Oh wow. Josh Childress.
Bullets.
There was a girl in my class in high school, way up in Michigan. She played for USA volleyball for the Olympics and everything. And she married Josh Childress of all people.
All right.
Yeah. Josh Childress gave me the finger at the 2003 NCAA tournament.
Good for him. What'd you do?
I'd probably call him a pussy or something. I don't know.
That makes sense.
I'm sure I deserved it.
Are we going to talk about that Adelaide game while we're talking about Aussie basketball?
I was just about to get there.
Oh, good.
But I was waiting for the questions.
The shit's been going on for nearly 2 hours.
Just 2 hours in, we're going to get to it.
Anybody else got any Aussie questions?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Justin, Evan, no, you're good. All right. Tomorrow, your time, yes?
No, 2 days.
No, Sunday, your time.
Yep.
Monday, our time. The Suns do play the Adelaide 36ers. Is any of our starters actually going to play in that game?
Hope not.
I just want to see Kai Soto.
And we're clearly going to see Jock Landell.
No, for sure.
You'd have to, yeah.
We're gonna see a dynamic duo of Dwayne Washington and Frank Jackson.
I think they
Why
may
not start with Jock against the Aussie
may.
team, right?
I think they may.
Yeah.
We won't see Josh Okogie. You guys, you heard that story. He's done a hammy.
Yeah.
Out for 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yep.
But yes, tomorrow, 36, or Sunday, your time, Monday, our time, 36ers. Is everyone just fucking stoked that NBA basketball's back? Even if it's a preseason? Like,
Dude,
I'm
I-
stoked
I-
that
I-
the
I can't.
I'm
wait
stoked
to
the
go
2K
see
League
the
Pass code
Suns.
worked.
Oh yeah, dude, I got that. I've never had League Pass before because I watch Suns, but I got it with 2K. I'm stoked.
It works too. Yep. Hey, you'll when you're watching the game, mostly you, Justin, watch a guy called Rob Franks. He's
Okay.
very, very self-confident. He played for the Bullets as well, and he's been in summer league, and he's like that, almost there. He always tries so hard when he's on a public platform. So it'd be interesting to see if he tries to overreach in that game,
I will keep an eye out for that.
You know those guys that try just that
I
little
know
bit too
exactly what
hard.
you're saying. He's just like chucking everything up. He's like, I'll
Listen,
He's good.
Listen,
But,
hey,
you know.
listen, you two. You can continue this conversation when the pod's off air. Evan, you pumped?
Is anybody else just? I don't
Sum
want
it
to
up.
say worried, but just a little bit worried.
about
Like
what?
we're not
About?
going to be that one seed. We might get bounced out in the first round this year. Like all this. Is anybody else worried? Because I got to be honest, that October 19th game, opening against the Mavs, I'm not stoked right now, and I don't know why.
120,
If we
83
lose-
Suns.
If we lose to the Mavs, I'm going to smash my TV.
Ooh, now I kind of want us to lose. Just one game might be
I
worth
don't
it,
know.
guys.
I don't know if you guys have touched on it yet, but do you realize we're going to see DeAndre Ayton like fucking backing cunts down in the paint and just fucking dunking them? We're going to see the old school Shaq come back.
Hey, you can't say that, mate. Voida thinks he just does layups.
What? What does Voida think?
He just does layups.
No, mate, we are good. We're good. We are going to, all these naysayers are going to eat their own words, eat their hats, or however we want to say it. But yeah, no, we're good, man. We're gonna we're gonna smash it out.
I think I'm more worried that I want to see that business-like approach. You win one game, you walk off the court, on to the next one. Like
Move on to the next one.
I just don't want all that shit of working out after the games coming up and all that shit coming out. You know what I mean? I have questions that I want answers to. That's the Leighton. That's the only thing that I can say.
Josh Okogie is going to shoot 40 plus from the 3-point line. How about that as a hot take?
Did you say 40% from the 3-point line?
40%. Okogie.
That is a very hot take.
Who has a higher
shooting
shooting percentage from 3? Cameron Payne or Josh Okogie?
Well, I'd say Cameron Payne
campaign?
because Josh Okogie's terrible from the 3-point line.
Nowhere right now. But I'm just saying, in our system, Okogie is going to fucking light it up. Trust me.
He's going to have some of the greatest junk time minutes we've ever seen from any player.
I don't care how it comes from 40 it serves me.
Honestly, you need to stop walking because no one can hear you, and I'm just about to boot you.
Yeah, let's get this done.
All right, last comments. Boyd, I'll let you have your last comments while you're walking around with your child. Where can we find you? What's your last comments?
Boods83. Sorry, I'm late, and I'll catch you all on Twitter somewhere.
Nate.
Yeah, ciao. I've got nothing left. I'm tired of this. This has been going for too long. It's been great to see Justin and Evan, though.
Dude, it's 11 o'clock here. Although
Evan,
this is when we usually start recording Fanning the Flames. So. Yeah.
Evan.
Hey,
where do we find your last comments?
My kid went to bed early. It's midnight. I'm 4 beers deep. I'm having a grand time. Last comments on the Phoenix Suns. Oh, just don't shit the bed. There you go.
Pay that.
Justin.
I'm so happy you let me go last. @So says Jay on Twitter. You can follow our pod at Fan the Flames NBA. I think that's what it is. Follow my co-host at Dervish of Whirl. I don't know what Dan's is. We don't have YouTube.
He has a number 1 on it.
You know,
At
there's a one.
At Den's
And
Latte One.
thank you very much. And I'll say this to offset the perhaps you could perceive it as negativity that I just heard. 4-0 final sweep championship parade. It's going to be a fantastic fucking season, boys. It's going to be, what is it going to be?
Revenge season or legendary?
Legendary.
I'm done.
And of course, you can find our pod at Aussie Suns fans or myself at Guesswork Gav. Thank you for joining us. Thank you everyone in the chat for engaging tonight. Hope everyone enjoyed it, and we will see you all next time.
As Chris Paul gets in, another wide open three.
Pierre Cardin.
Defers to Booker for the long-range jumper.
P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. Chris Paul bring a dinner with the dish. D-Book on the corner with the swish. We the Valley, hating with the dunk. Posterizing, now the crowd getting pumped. We the best, I ain't talking about Cali. Who's next? Never winning in the Valley. Can't wait for that championship rally. Send them home, send them back to Cali. Stand up if you're down for the Suns. Put a finger in the air, we number one. P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing.